talked about wanting to protect young girls who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Just can you expand your viewpoint on that?
I mean, I think I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense. I think it's really important to protect children.
Some people might say, hey, for the trans community, this could be something that could come back on us or be targeted against us. Like, how do you, I guess, view that sort of critique?
I don't dislike anyone, but I'm also there to love biological women, and I think that there are rights that need to be protected, and like I said, I'm going to stand true to that.
It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing how relentless the woke media can be when they actually care about something. Caitlin Clark gets assaulted. Caitlin Clark gets throat punched. The media attempts to make her attacker, Al Thomas, the ultimate victim. But Sophie Cunningham admitting in an interview with ESPN that men do not belong in women's sports, all of a sudden, the media is outraged. This is outrageous! Sophie Cunningham is sending veiled shots at her former teammate Bob Greiner. Tuesday, ESPN published a lengthy interview with Sophie Cunningham. During the interview, Sophie Cunningham went off the script that was provided by the Rainbow Warriors in the WNBA dump, and she expressed her desire to protect young women from women like Meg Rapinoe who want men to dominate women's sports. That was it. That's all Sophie Cunningham said. And that's all it took for the diversity deputies to issue a warrant for her arrest for violating the woke commandments. Even her own damn team is against her. Check it out for yourself. This is a brief summary from a statement that was released by the Indiana Fever. We are committed to inclusion. We welcome fans from all backgrounds. That's what is important to us here in the WNBA. The W stands for welcoming. Pretend basketball is for everyone. Hours after the Sophie Cunningham story went viral on social media, where Sophie was being supported by normal people and demonized by lonely men who aspire to be women, the WNBA decided to release a statement of their own. Apparently, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she has created a brand new division in the WNBA. As you guys know, they have the marketing division, which puts anonymous faces and unknown names on posters that no one buys. They have the manufacturing division, which creates stories of fabricated racism. Then there's the combat division, which combats the mythical racism that the WNBA creates. Victim services, which offers complimentary counseling to make-believe victims who pretend to be oppressed. This damn league has a division for everything except profit, making money. Of course, why would they need a profit division when they continue to be subsidized by the NBA? Yesterday afternoon, as Sophie Cunningham was going viral for defending young women against real toxic masculinity, as Sophie Cunningham was defending women from men who aspire to share locker rooms with them, the WNBA released a statement with an exciting announcement. Check it out for yourself. Dear friends, identifiers, marginalized, and the oppressed, I come to you today with great news! We are officially launching Jedi, the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Division of the WNBA. We have hired and trained a fresh squad of diversity deputies. We've equipped them with lightsabers, and they are committed to fighting mythical racism on the internets. We are committed to fighting the disease of manufactured racism that we created, and we will continue focusing on everything except basketball. Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder why the on-court product in this toxic turd of a league never improves? This league is focused on everything but basketball. For starters, My guess is Sophie Cunningham is going to become a target. More than likely, she will receive the Caitlin Clark treatment from opposing players, which means she will be unnecessarily attacked. She might want to invest in some PPE, maybe some safety glasses to protect her eyes. But here's the difference between Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Caitlin Clark is not a fighter. And look. This is nothing against Caitlin Clark. She doesn't want to fight. She doesn't want to get into altercations with jealous unknowns who are trying to make a name for themselves so their families finally recognize them. Caitlin Clark just wants to play basketball. Sophie Cunningham is different. She has no problem getting in your face. She's not afraid to stand up for herself. You're not going to push Sophie Cunningham around and she just turns the other cheek. The only cheek turning will be yours when it turns red from Sophie Cunningham introducing herself to the side of your face. Like I told you guys the other day, the WNBA is missing the moment with Sophie Cunningham. As a league, you could not get any luckier. You stumble upon Caitlin Clark. You have absolutely no idea how to take advantage of it. Defenders of the WNBA will claim they've never had a star of this magnitude. They're going to make mistakes, but they will learn. Well, it's been 3 years. This dump's had 3 years to learn how to monetize star players. Now, you stumble upon another mainstream star. And like Caitlin Clark, it's a mainstream star that the WNBA had absolutely no hand in creating. As a league, all you have to do is take advantage of it. All you have to do is monetize the momentum that Sophie Cunningham has created for herself. And what is the WNBA doing? They are refusing to license and monetize the Sophie finger point. They are refusing to monetize something that actually happened on the pretend basketball court. To make matters worse, Sophie Cunningham has no part in WNBA All-Star Weekend. They wouldn't even bump one of the unknowns competing in the three-point contest to make room for Sophie Cunningham. They wouldn't bump an unknown to make room for an actual star. Take a look at the missing persons report who were selected to compete in the three-point contest. You mean to tell me you couldn't remove Ryan Howard for Sophie Cunningham? What about Marina Mabry? If you didn't want to hurt feelings, why not have 7 players compete instead of 6? When a star is suddenly born, you don't abort it. You do everything you can to take advantage. There is no guarantee Sophie Cunningham is this famous next season. There is no guarantee that she can maintain this level of star power. I hope she does, but it's not guaranteed. Hell, Sophie Cunningham wasn't the only star that wasn't invited to the three-point competition. Yesterday, there were reports that Sabrina Ionescu declined to participate. As it turns out, Sabrina didn't decline because she was never invited. Watch for yourself.
Personally, I can't decline an offer I never got officially invited to, so I was pretty surprised to see that. Never got invited, and obviously that's, whether it's against Steph Curry or, in the W, I always go out and try and beat my record every single time I've gone out. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to set the record straight.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You refused to invite Sabrina Ionescu, the same Sabrina that was good enough to compete against Steph Curry a few years ago in the NBA's three-point contest. You refused to invite her, but you invite AZ Fudd? What the hell's wrong with this league? But Uncle KC, Sabrina Ionescu is struggling this season. She's only shooting 32% from three. Who cares? This isn't about percentages. It's not about stats. This is about entertainment. This is about mainstream exposure for your league. Who is bringing more eyeballs, Sabrina Ionescu and Sophie Cunningham, or the random Jane Does the WNBA selected off the missing persons report? I know I keep repeating myself, and I will keep repeating myself as long as the WNBA continues to operate as a charity. It is abundantly clear. The WNBA does not operate with a business mindset. This league prioritizes feelings over profit. They prioritize equity over ratings. And the reason they do that is because the WNBA is still allowed to rely on daddy's money. The NBA refuses to allow the WNBA to struggle. Then they wonder why there is minimal improvement with the on-court product. They wonder why the league struggles to grow. Uncle KC, that is ridiculous. The WNBA is surging. This league's over the moon. Caitlin Clark is surging. Sophie Cunningham is surging. The rest of this league is struggling to draw flies to a fresh turd. I was having this conversation the other day with my wife. We were talking about hypotheticals with the child who will soon be a legalized adult. Even though the government considers her to be an adult, she's still a child. But me and the wife, we were discussing hypotheticals as to when she will move out, when she will leave the nest and be out on her own. With my wife being so caring, so nurturing, she wants to make sure the situation is perfect. She needs to have savings. She needs to have stability. She needs to have the perfect job, perfect apartment. I don't want her to struggle. In that perfect scenario, child will be 40 years old before she moves out. I don't want her to struggle either, but the struggle is part of growing up. She can't move out, then come running home asking for money when she can't pay the rent. She has to figure out how to make it on her own, how to make it work. Otherwise, she'll never learn. If we bail her out every time she's struggling financially, she will struggle her entire life. But if she goes through the pain, if she goes through the struggle, and she figures out how to take care of herself, then she is set up for the rest of her life to rely on no one but herself. Similar situation with the WNBA. It is time for the WNBA to leave the nest. It's time for the NBA to eliminate the subsidies, eliminate the funding that is keeping the WNBA afloat. And that includes the television deal. The WNBA should be responsible for negotiating their own broadcast rights. There is a reason this league prioritizes feelings over profit. There is a reason the WNBA can waste time focusing on equity instead of making money. For decades, the WNBA has had a safety net. They've had this unlimited supply of money whenever they need it. It is time for the WNBA to take care of themselves. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.